Building an API with Node and Express isn't as complicated as you think. To get started, ensure that Node.js is installed in your system. You can download and install Node.js from the official Node.js website. Once Node.js is installed, you can create a new directory for your project and navigate to it in your terminal. Then, initialize a new Node.js project by running the following command. This will create a package.json file in your project directory, which will keep track of your project's dependencies and other configurations. Next, install Express as a dependency by running the following command. Next, create an Express application. To do that, create a new JavaScript file, let's say server.js, in your project directory, which will be the entry point for your Express application. In this file, you need to import Express and create an Express application. This app object will be used to define routes, middleware, and start the server. Routes define the endpoints of your API, while middleware handles various operations such as request parsing, authentication, and error handling. Note that middlewares in Express are executed before the endpoint code or route handler is executed. Now, define a simple get endpoint with the route as /. Routes are defined using URL patterns that specify the path to a resource on the server. In this case, / is the URL pattern that defines a route for handling requests made to the / endpoint. Now add the following code res.send hello world within the get endpoint. All this does is, when a GET request is made to the / endpoint, the server will respond with hello world as the response body to the client. To view that, we need to start the server. For that, we can use app.listen to start the server and make it listen for incoming requests on the specified port, 3000 in this case, and also pass a message that will be printed to the console indicating the port on which the server is running. You can now start your Express application by running node server.js. Your API will be running on the specified port. And congrats, this is all it takes to create a simple endpoint. But let's take it a step further. I want to be able to send data to an endpoint, store it somewhere temporarily, and then call a get endpoint to view all the data I sent. Since I want to store the data temporarily, let's forget about using a database, because that would be a completely different tutorial. So to proceed, create a posts variable that will be an array of objects containing ID and title. Next, create a get endpoint, similar to the one we created, but let's name the route as posts this time. This endpoint will simply send the posts in a JSON format to the client. Notice the URL. It has /posts appended to it this time. The endpoints we visit on the browser are always a get endpoint. To send data, we need a post endpoint. To do that, create a post endpoint. This code defines a post endpoint for the URL path /posts. When a post request is made to this endpoint, the server extracts the title property from the request body, creates a new post object with an ID and the extracted title, adds it to the posts array, and responds with the newly created post object in JSON format. To send data in the request body, let's use Postman. Postman will allow us to treat our API endpoints and verify their functionality without a website. In Postman, paste the API route you want to send data to, which is posts in this case. Make sure the type is set to post. Because we are extracting title from request.body in the code, click on body, change the style to JSON format, and send a JSON object with title as post4. Now upon clicking send, notice we get an internal server error along with the following error in console: cannot read properties of undefined reading title. This means our request.body in post endpoint is undefined, and that's where middlewares come into the picture. In the code, add the middleware for parsing JSON request bodies. This middleware will automatically parse incoming requests with JSON payloads, making the data available in request.body for further processing. Now restart the server, go back to Postman, and click send. The post endpoint successfully returns us the object we were trying to send in its response. Now to verify if this new post has been added to our posts variable or not, we can call the getPosts endpoint by refreshing the browser, and voila! You can see the post4 with ID of 4 has been added to our array of posts, which means our post endpoint was successful, and the get endpoint returning list of posts has been updated with the latest post. This new post is stored temporarily because once I restart the server, the post gets removed. To keep the post stored permanently, we can use databases. So that's how easy it is to create an endpoint. If you found the video insightful, don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more.